Oh, what's up, everybody? Hey, guys. Thanks for joining me. Got everything turned around. I'm going to keep it a little low key, the best I can for this channel. So, as you know, I usually do get a little string of something happening, getting things set up, going over things with everybody, just trying to make sure I put a little more effort into it tonight, so then that way we can save you some money by going over this bad boy here. Ugh. Check this one out. This is the baby. If you got to see my big meat baby, I'm kind of excited about this one because I'm all about saving money, but also cooking great food, coming up with easy home recipes for any and everyone to cook and be able to do the exact same thing. I'm not no five-star chef. I am just at a regular old guy that loves to cook with his family or for his family and friends. And thus far, I have had a good track record. So tonight, I'm just gonna keep it simple, low key. We are going to go over on cooking some asparagus. So we're gonna be doing asparagus. We're gonna be cutting up this beef sirloin. It's a whole, boneless USDA choice Angus, okay? I'm getting kind of thirsty. I'm gonna drink my Debbie. And this is that new cup. If you go check out the live after this one, or before this one, I guess. But this one, I just need some energy to get dinner done. Oh, that's good. So, I will be accompanying dinner with some biscuits. I have my oven heating over here up to 350. As the can recommends right here. Just easy, simple. We're almost there. Just waiting for my preheat oven light to go off. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're taking a look on the outside, make sure you click on it. Join us here. I'm just gonna kind of take one quick look at something so maybe I can see comments a little better. So if you're here, drop a comment down in the bottom, wave hi. And if you see this little heart section over here, you can tap that. It's going to bring up a list so you can interact with me. If you find something I did funny, you love it. If you're loving the channel, give it a little tap tap, show some love. But now that you're here, I'm going to circle back around. Thank you, thank you. Firefox, how's it going? We're going to be cutting this bad boy up tonight, and then we're going to be taking a couple little slivers off the end, and we're gonna throw them into the skillet and get this bad boy cooking. Okay, so I'm gonna pair this up with some green onion tonight in some butter, and then I'll show you the steak seasoning here momentarily. Now this steak seasoning, highly recommended by myself and my family, just because we've had it, we love it. We've had it we've been married over 13 years or so, I guess now. So it's been around for a while, and it's been a staple in my cupboard for sure, okay? Hey Justin, Bill Thomas, my lizard, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So what is tonight about, guys? Tonight is about saving money by buying more steak, okay? So the other day I went to the store, right? I went to the store, went to a place, I'm gonna say Sammy for short, just because I don't want to get into anything, right? So Sammy for short is what I'm gonna call it. Went there to save on, you know, bulk pricing and so forth there, and they had their meat cuts lined up. And so I got to looking, steaks, I don't know where you're at, but where I'm at, steaks were about $65 for 2 to 3 steaks. 65, okay? So you're gonna have to stay with me. If you can stay with me, we're gonna see if we can get 20 steaks out of this. If we can get 20 steaks, then that means I'm gonna hit my goal at roughly $9 and some change, give or take. Because on this one, does anyone want to try and guess the cost on this bad boy right here? I'll give you a second as I get a couple of things shifted around here. So I'll give you the poundage. Its net weight is 17.19 pounds. So if you're just tuning in here afterwards, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments as well. 80 for 2. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is something, Justin, that you can take a look at right here in the future. When you get ready to do some steaks on the grill, you can buy this bad boy fresh like I did. We're gonna cut this up and see if we can't get 20. If we get a minimum of 13 out of this, we're gonna be still below the average cost. So that's still gonna be good, but I'm really trying to see if I can't get it down to $9 a steak, okay? That'll make everybody happy. All right, so I'm just going to, I'm working on getting a gimbal so everyone can follow me around the kitchen a little more professionally. But I'm just gonna eat this way a little bit. So this right here is what I'm gonna do with the biscuits because the greens take a little bit longer at a higher temperature. So for anyone that has a pen and paper and you want to take this little note here, I'm gonna take these and put them in the oven at 400 degrees here in a moment, all right? But right now, standard biscuits, follow the recipe there. I feel like this one's gonna explode on me, so give me 1 second. There you go, caught it on tape. All right, so we're just gonna get these biscuits out. I'm gonna bring y'all around here. I'm not gonna hog all the fun. All right, so what's this copper sheet? Get rid of your Pam sprays, chunk it all out the door. These are those copper sheets that you're always seeing on, as seen on TV. These right here are going to be a great addition to your home. The reason why I say that, once these biscuits are done, you can see how goopy and gooey they are because I did leave them sitting out here on the counter for a little bit, trying to get everything put together for you guys. I'm gonna spread these out a little bit. But with these, when they're done, they're gonna slide right off. So stay tuned while we get to cooking, and these biscuits are just gonna take off when they are done, okay? So as you can see, I'm holding them up. They're not sliding nowhere. Once we get them out of the oven, they're going in right now. So we're just gonna call it an even 9:30, and we'll be back to check on those here momentarily. All right, guys, let's pull you back this way. Right here's where the action is going to happen. So, let me grab my knives. I have cultivated the best of the best knives for tonight's procedure. Let's take a look this way. Thank you. All right. So, for this procedure tonight, I will be using 3 different knives to see how they cut. This channel is unboxing knives and saving. I'm just going to throw this one in on this one, saving money tonight, okay? Because you're going to want to save more than just the $16 on this box. So what you're going to want to do for this job as well, when you get this big of a steak, you're going to want to package it and freeze them, okay? So get you the nice gallon storage bags. Just going to go ahead and get a box out here. Set the rest of those down there. So when you buy bulk, sometimes the packaging does not always work out as you hope it would. But we can get into it. There we are. Nice gallon bag. You can write your date. If you have a Sharpie, I'll probably go back and do that. Now, as long as you keep them nice and refrigerated until you're ready to cut them so that they don't spoil, is very key, because you don't want to go back, freeze that, come back, cook it, and then get sick. So I'm going to probably put 2 to 3. Just going to go ahead and pre-pull some of these bags out. 1. That looks like a good starting amount there, and I'll get this box out of our way. Okay. So, tonight, this is not a hex clad. Okay, this one I paid 20 bucks for. You can go get this too. Take a look at some of like the Maxes, the TJ Maxes and stuff like that. I got this one there on sale for 20 bucks. So I didn't pay no fancy amount of price. As you can tell, I'm not very fancy in the kitchen, but the food is delicious. Now, I caught this set on sale. It's a hex clad. I want you to see it because it is a beautiful set. This is that carving set from hex clad. This one, I'm trying not to cut myself with it, is the Shun knives. Look at that beautiful hammer finish there. And take a look, if I can get the light just right. Boom, there it is. See that nice forged 70, I want to say this one might be their 72 or 62 layer steel. Now this is that VG Max steel, similar to a VG10. VG10 is a great steel, but you can't just slap it around. This is going to be the same thing, but in the bread knife. Now, I did use this same bread knife when doing some leftover ham. All right, moving right along. We're going to, is 9:31. Let's take a look at, I'm going to see if I can't turn this water on, and I'm going to move y'all down here. Okay. Just come on with me. Is the sound okay, guys? Can someone shoot me up a 100 if you can hear me okay? If not, I will go get my mic, and I think I have it over here if I need it. Can y'all hear me pretty good? Justin, what's the best way to cook it on the grill? Yeah, KJ, no, we're not eating all this tonight. It's definitely gonna save some, okay? Angel, hi. Let's see. Save you some? All right. I will definitely have some for sure. Best way to cook it on the grill, I'm gonna say never cook a steak well done. You cook it well done, you killed it. It's gonna be tough, rubbery, and chewy. The other reason why you don't want to do one well done, and especially if you go out to eat at a restaurant, if you get one that's completely well done, no pink, you come home later and this bad boy, you want to nuke it. Now sometimes I'll throw mine in the air fryer, but either way you go on those leftover steaks, if you throw it into a microwave or something like that, it's going to turn that into shoe leather. So don't do that. That's the main reason there. Now I've pre-rinsed some of this stuff off, some of my ingredients here like the onions and so on. I'm just kind of peeling some of this off of here now that I let it dry. There we go. All right, so slide this over here. We're gonna bring this on down, guys. So what you're gonna wanna do, as you can tell, there's a lot of blood, so I do recommend like this grate that I got here. So with this, I'm just gonna stab it and I'm just gonna start letting it rinse out. Just run all that blood down the sink, out of the package. Just gonna kind of push it out the end down here so we can keep our mess to a minimum. Yeah, the best way on the grill though is, I would have to say for me, I like mine because there's so many grills. Justin, if you got a particular one that you're using, are you using pellets? Are we using, what are we using? I'm just thinking about the question. I love the engagement. I appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna get a different knife. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm gonna get this knife right here. This is by Kai. This is my use and abuse knife that I'm going to kind of polish up and restore with the kit that I got. So we're just gonna take this. And I mean, just look at that. I'm just barely used the knife, okay? Let's take a look at this. Barely used it, opened the package, one pull, and we've done started cutting into the meat. These knives that come from Kai or the Shun brands, marvelous, fantastic. So if you didn't get your price in down here in the comments on this live, that's okay. Here's what the price was, $197.34. That was $11, might as well say $12 a pound, give or take. So that's why we gotta get 20 steaks. Now here's my next thing. If you think we can get 13, drop me a 13. If you think we get to 20, let me know. Go ahead and drop it down into the comments and we're gonna get this going. Just gonna slice this bag up and let the rest of that blood drip down the bag here. Want to have some cool water when we go to rinse this steak. Don't want to rinse it with that hot water, because we don't want, I don't know about y'all's, but my hot water gets hot. You think we're getting 20, Justin? I like it. I like the optimism. So, good question, Rebecca. So what I would see, this, if y'all know that I'm into a competition, this is what I'm talking about. I love cooking with family. When you're here, guys, you're part of my family. But right down here, Rebecca, that's my mom. Always in full swing and support. I believe my wife is probably one of these people over here as well. So appreciate it, family being here. And if Justin is the Justin I think it is, I appreciate you being here, bro. So, thickness, I'm thinking about a 1 inch. Doing them about at least a 1 inch steak. Because if we do about 1 inches across, I'm thinking at least a minimum of 13 to 20. Thank you for the hearts, I saw them. I wish it was like TikTok and it'd tell you who's liking it, who's not, and so on. Let's take a look at our biscuits. Ooh, they're rising. Got to make sure the baby wasn't around. Don't want no burnt children. Those biscuits, guys, they're rising. They're looking good. They're gonna be nice and fluffy. I may make me a biscuit, steak, and cheese sandwich. All right, let's go ahead and get back to this. Now on this back side, I'm gonna slide this in just a little bit, just so it drips into my sink. Because here in a second, I'm gonna pull a magic trick over here and slide all this off. Perfect. All right, guys, so I'm lifting this up right here on this end. I'm gonna bring you in and see what's happening here in just 1 second. I'm just kind of letting that flush some of that blood out of this bag and off of this meat. I thought I was going to get to do it that way, but it said no. I'll be honest, this is probably the biggest chunk of meat that I've had to deal with right now. Rip family, hey girl. So right now, this one here is steak. So tonight I'm going over how you can save a little bit of money with the steak prices nowadays. So I bought this one. It was like $197, but if we take a look at 2 steaks for $65 or like 3 for almost $80, on up in the questions up there or the comments, I had a gentleman say 2 steaks for like 80 bucks. So I'm just going to kind of half and half it here. My blood's running out this way. Everybody, if you're looking for someone to follow, this lady right here is a great one to do so with. Let me check the biscuits one more time. Perfect. The biscuits are still nice and glowing. They're fluffy. But yes, so we're going to try and do about 1 inch across here. We're looking to get at least 20 steaks out of it. Then that way it'll be about $9 a steak. And then I've saved money that way. So the cut. So the cut here, I'll show you. Give me 1 second. I'm not sure if it's going to come up. No, it's going to come out backwards, isn't it? So it's a beef sirloin whole boneless USDA choice Angus. So right here is that beef sirloin. So it's a sirloin steak. Hi, Emery. It is. So the actual weight on this one, Britt, was about showing 17.19 pounds. So just under 17 and a quarter. All right. So this one is, like I was saying, guys, was my bang around knife. It's got some blade issues that I'm going to take care of in the future. Just still kind of learning everything. If you're just now tuning in, I have 3 great knives that we're going to try out to see what's going to be the best one to use. My money is going to be here on my shun knife. The next, I'm going to say this bread knife because it has some beautiful waves to that blade. It's not teeth. And I'm thinking Hexclad's going to come up last. Drop your comments down below now, and let's see which one is going to uh, work out the best for us, okay? Now, all these beautiful knives will be accompanied, if I need them to be, by the hex-clad carving fork. I'm hoping not to have to use it, but you just never know. Now, if the kitchen doesn't have these in it, I highly recommend these. It's just nice dual layer gloves. I love using these just because you can put them on, do your business, peel them off as you go. Less hand washing. What I have going on over here with this sink, so I do apologize. I'll turn it off here in a little bit. What I'm doing is letting the water run into this bag and back down into the sink to wash out the blood and everything to try and minimize the mess. It is an awesome product. I won't knock them. This will be the first time I use this knife, guys, so you're going to get to see it here first, if it's going to work out for me or not. But the cool thing about this one, Britt, you know I'm going to try and save you some money and everyone else here. Christmas, Black Friday, check them out. You need a chopping block or a board, go check them out around the holidays, $99. I got that set that I just showed you, the carving knife and the fork. And then I have a beautiful board back here in this corner. And I will be showing that board off down the road. Just because this is a big chunk of meat here, I didn't want to just maul it all up before I got that mineral oil in it. Alright guys, now you see I only have one glove on this side. I'm going to actually put 3 on this one, just that way if I need to I can peel and go. Justin, stay tuned my guy. I showed you the back of the bottle a second ago. If you weren't here at the beginning, stay tuned for what seasoning is to come. I have it right here. It's a great seasoning. We've had that one in our family for years. I will say the Fish Pro, because I'm trying not to be branding any names or anything. The Fish Pro is where I used to get my seasoning. And if you love to go bass fishing, they have all that stuff there for you as well. Okay? So, you the viewer, I tried this once the other day and it was kind of rocky, but I was doing 2 separate ones. We're going to turn that off now. Thank you. So, y'all are going to choose what knife do you want to see cut first. And I'm going to come down, bring y'all down here, and we're going to look at it close up as I cut it. You won't have to look at my ugly face here for a little bit. But yes, Justin, stay with me and you can definitely see what beautiful seasoning I will be rubbing on my steak tonight and dropping it off into this beautiful skillet. And I'll show you something. I'm not using olive oil tonight, guys. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Britt. All right, so here we go, guys. I'm going to keep it simple so you don't have to do a whole lot of typing for what brand of knife and so on. This is going to be number 1. This is the 10-inch chef knife, so number 1. Number 2 is going to be the Shun bread knife. And you know who's coming up in 3rd place on my list, the Hexclad. So drop me a comment of 1, 2, or 3, and that's the knife I'm going to start off with because I want to engage with you. You're cooking with me in my home. And y'all are the beautiful 6 people, 6 to so people, 7 people now. Thank you for joining. Okay, going with 1. That's a solid choice. Can I get a second opinion, anybody? Come on, Justin. I know you're there, man. All right, biscuits are just about done. Anybody there? We got 1, 2, 3. I'll show you one more time. Britt's gonna choose my favorite here. 3 is the second choice. As you can hear me over here, possibly Bree, I'm already lining them up. You're the only one speaking tonight. Rebecca, this isn't any bread knife. The Shun knives are very durable, as long as you're not cutting up anything that is frozen. So never cut frozen meat with a knife. You will run into, cutting up everything. All right, guys, y'all settled it. We're starting off with 1. Bree is chosen for us. I'm gonna go ahead and take her word that number 3 is definitely gonna take that number 2 spot. Here we go, guys. Let's get you set up here. Set my seasoning out of the way so I can bring you closer. I'm gonna set my bag over here. All right, come with me, guys. Promise I'll try and be gentle here. All right, let's take a quick look. I'm gonna raise you up here. We're gonna take a peek at this oven real quick because I have a feeling, and I am right, that our beautiful biscuits are done. I'm gonna show you this beautiful golden top biscuits. And as you saw, I just kept an eye on them. I didn't set a timer. Look at those, they turned out nice and gold. Now, for anyone, Britt, if you didn't see it at the very beginning, I held these up, tongue-tied. I slid them and tried to slide them by taking it sideways, okay? Now, the cool thing about this, look at this. I'm touching this, I'm holding it. This is that copper sheet. You can see them at Wally World and some other Target maybe. I highly recommend these when you're cooking biscuits. So before, they would stick to your pan, right? If you had them in a baking sheet, you had to use a lot of Pam, butter that pan up to keep them from trying to stick, but then they burn. You're familiar with that? She knows what's going on then. Let's take a look at this, guys. Right here, look. Look at that. Sliding. Are they burnt? I didn't look. They look perfect to me. Are they burnt? Get the lighting right. I think they're just a nice golden brown. There's another one. It's another perk of having it was on the edge. Look at that, guys. Beautiful biscuits done. All right, guys. We're gonna land our biscuits over here. Now, I know I'm holding this up from cutting, but this is what I'm gonna use. This is by Time and Label. It's a beautifully made, you can get this at Wally World, okay? So I'm gonna take our asparagus cooking to the next level, quite literally, because it's on a rack, okay? I'm gonna set this right back here. Set this to the side. All right. Now this first one, I'm gonna cut it and it's going right into the skillet and we're gonna take off cooking. We're gonna grab our skillet. So if you are cooking a steak here in a second, I'm gonna recommend get you some real butter. Peel that back just a little bit. I let mine get a little soft. Okay. I'm just gonna douse it in the middle here. And since I have gloves on, I'm gonna set this down over here. We're gonna get messy anyway. I'm just gonna take that butter. I'm gonna get enough in here to coat the bottom of my pan. More butter, mo better is what I like to say. At least we always say it. Now I'm coating this with actual butter, okay? I'm gonna set my skillet there. I'm gonna use the one burner. I'm turning it all the way down here to low just to let it start warming up for us. And I'm actually just gonna rub a little butter here on the end of this one. I'm probably gonna take the first two off of here. Okay. Done with the butter. Here's the knife. Let's bring it in close. All right. I'm bringing this way a little bit. And this is a hefty piece of meat. I want y'all to have the ultimate shot here. This isn't just about cooking, it's also about, so when we go to cut this, we're gonna make a forward motion and then end it on a pull, okay? No, I have not touched the meat with the gloves, and as you see, I have a brand new glove on. All right, so with this here, let's take a look at our end cap. That's roughly about, let's see here. I may have to grab that fork. I was hoping I would, no, maybe not. It's cutting right through it like butter, guys. Look at that. I'm not trying to force it through there because I don't know what's all in this meat just yet. The worst thing you can do when entering into a big chunk of meat is just forcing a knife through it. So I'm just taking it one step at a time. Now down here on this bottom, so like all this, like some of this is some gristle and stuff. I'm gonna leave it because here's why. So we take a look at this meat right here. If I can get just right, that light portion, that's gristle, but notice the reason why I'm not gonna get rid of it, that beautiful fat portion there, it's gonna soak up that flavor, the butter and all the goodness, because here in a second, Justin, if you're still with me now, if you're with me, you're gonna get to see that seasoning you've been waiting for. So with this here, you wanna leave this so you can get the nutrients and cook with that fat and the grease that comes from the fat. So that mixed with the butter is going to be great with our green onions and this seasoning. Now, as you can tell, our butter is already starting to melt. I'm going to set our beautiful steak down here. Look at the length of this steak. It is roughly about 1 inch thick. Okay. Clean gloves still. Okay. Yes, sir. So I'm just going to poke some holes in this over here so I'm very generous with my seasoning, okay? You need to come up for this one. So what I'm going to do is I will apply it and I will rub it in on there. Okay? Because I have a one hand. As you can see, it's already soaking in because of the meat. We're just going to rub it around on that steak. You want to get it around on the fat. We're going to take that, flip it over. Okay, here's that beautiful end cap that we saw. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of marbling going on here, like right here, the little white in there. So overall, it's not a bad end cap. I'm going to do the same for this side. I love you guys so much. I'll just wash this bottle off later. I'm just going all over it, okay? I'm very generous with my seasonings because you know what? When I get done with my steaks, guys, I am not going to use barbecue sauce. Nope, no sauce here. When you get done, if you ever get a chance to fly on out or hang out with me and I'm cooking some steaks, you do not have to use barbecue sauce unless you want to. Look at that little golden seasoning that's on there. It may be better on my side of the screen just because of the lighting's coming straight down on my side. We're gonna let this simmer over here. I'm gonna crank that up to about a 4, okay? Just let that pan start to heat up and get everything melting down. Okay. So, that's one steak down. Here we go. Roughly 1 inch is here. We're using our forward motion. Always be cautious when cutting meat. Using that rocking motion here. And it's just going right through it nice and easy. Okay, there's steak number 2. I think what I'm running into, guys, at the bottom with my knife is that gristle. It is a long piece, but that's the beauty of this. With this cut of meat, it's a nice oval shape. So you can always take one, like I have over here, split it with a friend, and have 2 pieces if you wanted to. The knife is doing pretty well for the size of the meat, and that's the reason why I went with the 10-inch as one of our choices. My favorite steak I've cooked, I will tell you, Justin, the one that I'm still on the hunt for is the cowboy steak. Have y'all seen a cowboy steak? It looks like something from the Flintstones. It's on my list to cook. But my most probably cooked one would be somewhere between a T-bone and like a New York strip. I know, Britt, that is the reason why I wanted to share this. If you save up a little bit of money, buy it in bulk, package it up yourself. Don't let them do that and add that water weight and other stuff to it. I'm just saying, I feel that there's a little something else going on in the package that ain't meat. It is a monster. I want to smoke one so bad on my grill. Ooh-wee, that butter's starting to sizzle. All right, let's get a couple more steaks cut out before we start having to get into this one over here. Just applying that rocking motion. We're gonna let it roll out. Just like that. 3 steaks. We are up to 3 steaks right now. I'm gonna see if I can't do about 4 steaks a knife. About another 1 inch out. Notice I'm trying to keep this from catching. That's why I'm trying to keep this end up. There we are. Now this one did get a little stretched. If I take it and did it like in a package, they would package it up and it looked like this. So if you can tell, it's roughly about a 1 incher. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4 steaks now. And that's where this one is going to take a break. So let's take a look over here. Y'all hear that sizzle? That's that butter and everything. All right, guys, I'm not gonna hold it out from you any longer. Here's that steak seasoning. This one is a must-have for your kitchen for sure. If you want to know my other seasonings, I would recommend Cavender's. I would also recommend I'll let that sit there a little bit longer. Let's see here. Have you ever had Morton's All Seasoning? Yes, so that steak seasoning there, Morton's All Steak Seasoning, or Morton's All Natural Seasoning, which is great for green beans. It's great for other items, fish, chicken. Morton's is a really good one to have in the kitchen as well. This one, it says steak. It goes well on chicken legs. Cavender's is always good. Now, I've always said this. Now, a favorite thing around the holidays is turkey. Cavender's, butter, and that leftover turkey meat. Sometimes it gets dry. Add that butter, Cavender's, and the turkey in a bowl. Mix it up good. Let me know what you think about it, okay? Look at that steak sizzle. All right. Let's take this. Look at that. Beautifully done already. Just about done on this side. We're gonna let it set just a little longer. Now I'm just cooking this at a medium heat. I'm not trying to rush through it. All right. Up next is our beautiful hex clad. Now you can see their logo on this side located here. Now they do feature a pack of wood handle, just like the Shun knife over here. Okay. Now this one has a little less flare at the end. If you take a look closer at the handle back here on this one, it has a beautiful little brass touch there on that ring. This is that carving knife. Let's see how it's going to do, and we'll come back to that steak, and it should just be about done. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll call that 5 pulls. So they're pretty close so far. Because I was pulling about, how many would y'all say I was pulling with the other one? Maybe like 5 or 6 so. All right, guys, here's that hex clad. One more time, just trying to pack that meat in right here so it tightens up that muscle, because remember, steak is muscle. I'm just kind of rolling it around in this butter in here. I haven't used this fork on anything yet. I'm just going to take it and gently press into my meat so I don't. I'm going to have to get my thermometer out on this one. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to kind of singe the end here of this steak by letting the end set and seal some of that flavor inside of the steak. And I'm just going to let it rest. I'm just going to set it off to the side, turn off my heat for a minute, and let that rest over there. And we will take a look and see where we landed. All right, I got this open. Watch your fingers. I don't know, guys. Hexclad might be the one to take a look at. You got this beautiful layer of fat on this one side. Look at the marbling. It's just getting better and better as we're going through it. Now, Wagyu steak, I know some of y'all have heard of that, high expensive dollar steak. They massage their cows. So this, see how it's thick here, is throughout the entire steak. When you cook the steak, it's butter. It is. I'm very surprised. This is the very first time using it. So I appreciate everyone tuning in to see this Hexclad working in action. I was kind of like, you know, maybe it's another one of those knives, you know. But the real test, Britt, is how long will it last in my kitchen? Because after cutting a lot of meat like this over a few more years, will they let me send it in and get that free sharpening? We'll see. On the Shun knives, when you buy a true knife as beautiful as a Shun knife or a Wusthof, or you can kind of see this black line right here at the end of my knife. That's that Dow Strong. I'll show y'all here towards the end if we have time. And I should have really brought that one out to really ooh and all over with this one. Oh, I kind of veered off on this end of the steak, but that's okay. That was a 3-pull there, guys. Look at that. We have that beautiful fat crown on the edge. This is basically gonna hold all that flavor. So when you want to do some seasoning and stuff in your skillet or anything like that, you take your fat, season it up nicely, and boom. You can take all that rendered fat that's cooked down, throw it in your green beans, maybe throw it into some ramen if you want to do a steak and ramen night. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you later on one of your other lives. I was glad to kind of catch yours earlier too. I just had to run and keep on going with the day though. But I appreciate you, and I hope you get to feeling better. All right, guys. So let's take a quick steak count. We got one over there. We got one. We got two. We got 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 6 steaks, guys. Does anyone want to change their numbers? If you do, drop them down here. We'll see where we go. This is the one-time chance to change them. All right, guys. I'm just kind of overlapping this on my finger. I'm loving this hex clad, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Just giving it a nice 1 pull there, and 2 and 3. So what's really holding us up down here, guys, is this piece right here. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. Let's see if I get the light on it. See how straight and rigid this is right here? That's some gristle. That's okay. It's housing that fat, so I'm gonna leave it. All right. So I'm just gonna carry on with this one and get down to a last few here. Okay. Let's get closer to the action with these last few cuts. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 steaks is where we're at. Oh, I let the end of that knife catch. Just kind of helping it by pulling it back as I cut it down, so I'm not cutting through the same piece of meat. Where are we at, guys? Good night, Justin. I understand that. Okay, I think we're about 10 to 11. About 10 to 11 steaks. I'm gonna hand this steak over here because I believe it to be done. Get this up here. Now, since I know this knife is working and I know it's working well, I'm going to take this end cap. You can kind of see it's kind of offset. It's not really a flat end piece. So this one may be one that I'm going to have to cut just a little thicker and may just actually smoke this one later. Just trying to get that front to let loose a little bit. There we are. Pulling down through there. That gristle on that end because I flipped it towards us. This one will count as one, but it's probably going to be a smoker. All right, one more because I'm having so much fun with this one. And then we'll take a look at our steak that we have cooked and get our veggies going. A little rock forward, pull back, rock forward, pull back. All right, guys. I'm gonna let our bread knife have a little fun with this one. Now, I do take care of my knives. I do hand wash my knives. They don't get tossed over here into the sink. If this bread knife doesn't pull it off like I think it should be able to, then we'll revisit that here in a minute. Okay? So, I'm going to gather up these green onions. I'm going to set that there, get these ready here. All right. So, I'm going to rip and pull. That's why I have these gloves here, guys. I'm going to set y'all over here with me. Okay? There we go. Now, I did already use this. It has kind of cooled down a little bit, and that's okay because this is an oven-safe piece. So what we're doing now with our greens, because I've already got them washed off, I let them dry. You don't want to put them in there wet. I mean, you can, it's just, it may steam them and they won't get super crispy. We're going to take these on here, separate them out. Okay, you can see how I'm doing it. It doesn't matter which way. If you like them to be all organized and go all the tops at one end, you can do so. Now these I'm going to increase to 400 degrees. Okay, I'm increasing that oven to 400 degrees because I want to get these nice and crispy. And the reason why you don't want them bulked up like this here, you may have to take a few and run them long ways or parallel with your sheet here. Now, if you do this on a baking rack or like in just the pan, you're going to notice this method may not work the best. It'll work, but it may not work the best. You may end up with some fried asparagus. All right, guys. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm just trying to get them close enough to where I'm not wasting any oil. Now with these, I would love just to run some butter over them and slide them in there, okay? Let me grab that olive oil for you. Stay with me real quick. So if you're looking for a good olive oil, this is a good workhorse in mine. Now this one's unfiltered. You can definitely get this one at Wally World. It's Caparelli. Okay, now I got the unfiltered. I love the unfiltered for the purpose of dipping bread and so on there. Great for cooking with your eggs and stuff. Now we are just going to take this. If we take a look at the nozzle, it has a nice pouring setup. I'm just going to get it into that light drizzle. And I'm just barely letting it drizzle. Because if you glob it on there, it's going to be a little too much. It may make them a little soggy. And you don't want a soggy asparagus coming out of the oven. And it's okay if you drizzle a little too much and it gets down into the bottom of this pan. You can reuse it later in your meal. And I can show you that a little bit later. Now, what I'm going to do is something very simple and easy. Let me do this real quick. And I'm just going to take a look at this steak here. I see all these juices running. I'm going to grab it up here real quick and take a look at that nice, beautiful brown with a little mid-range of pink. I'm going to say it may need just a tad bit more. Let me take a look. I'm going to use my paring knife. Look at that. I'm going to bring it over to you. I'm so ecstatic, you guys. I am so ecstatic. Look at that beautiful color. The lighting that I have here is not doing us any good. It is not. Look at this beautiful steak. Nice, medium to medium rare. Nice solid pink, no blood running out of it. Just look at the golden brown. It's got a little crunch to it here on right here. It's not burnt. It's nice, and those are some little grill marks. You can see how nice and light brown that steak is. I mean, I hate to do it to everybody, but no sauce needed. No sauce. That is so good. It's so good. I'm going to take that same seasoning. I'm going to bring you back over here real quick. Oh, tripod. I'm looking for a new one if anyone's got any suggestions. Just gonna tap some of this down here. And I'm just doing it on some of it. I'm gonna do the other one with just some sea salt. Okay? Now, sea salt is a great staple for any meal, anything you wanna do. I do recommend a little salt when you cook with. Now, if you're doing salted butter, like I did with the steak, it was already salted, so I didn't need to salt that steak. Now, with this, if you get with this one, okay, it has different pores, but if you get it up on the edge like this and you start squeezing the bottle, I don't know if my glove will let you see it being black. Let's see here. Is it coming out? There you go, you got to see it right there. And then I just kind of give it a little squeeze and it just shoots the salt out, so I don't have to worry about dumping the whole bottle onto everything. So now we got our steak seasoning ones, some lightly salted ones. Let's crisp them up in our oven. We heard that beep go off. I'll let you take a quick look at the setup that we have here. Get some light on it, back you up a little bit, just like that. Nice, separated, and everything there. Let's pop them in the oven. Now we got these in here. We're gonna get back to cutting that steak. These are gonna cook up nicely. Oh, fresh biscuit. I'm gonna take this biscuit and probably one of those and maybe a little asparagus, make a little sandwich out of it with a little bit of cheese. I ran past where we needed to be. Bread knife, guys. Bringing in the bread knife now. God bless everybody. If you can't make it all the way through tonight, that's okay. I understand. Drop a like. Tap a few little hearts here on the screen so I can see some love. And let's take a look at this bread knife. Roughly 1 inch. We've made our forward motion. We're pulling back. Look at that, already halfway through. That was the second pull. It's getting a little thicker, I think, at this end on that gristle. So I think that's what's going to hold me up here with my bread knife. There's another beautiful steak cut there. Pressing it down here. And just look at that one. Got to watch the back of the knife so it doesn't get caught due to the style of the knife and the length. Look at that. Oh, I was hoping I had it in 3 pulls. That gristle is getting us. It's getting all the knives. Beautiful fat cap there. This is that gristle right here on this end. It has a little bit of fat attached, so we'll let it house that fat in there. These steaks are turning out great. Look at that marbling in here. Just look at it. That's what when you go to, you don't want a whole bunch of this. This is a great fat vein right through here, which is gonna soak up that smoke flavor if you're smoking the steak. This right here is gonna be nice and smoky flavored. These little notes here will kind of melt and cook down and kind of seep your flavors into the meat through the fat, is the way I've been kind of doing some research. But when it cooks down, it allows that meat to be nice, tender, melt in your mouth steak. So if you can get more fat in the in-between, the better. So if it looks like a desert all the way through that steak, you're getting a little bit more meat, but you're gonna sacrifice, I think, flavor in the long run. Like I said, I am an at-home cook for my family. Now, back to cutting. Right here, push. Got my fingers here, pressing down. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. I would really like to win. I know, a little vlog speech here. I would really like to get a lot of votes and win to maybe further my culinary experience. But beautiful, roughly 1 inch steak there. Let's see how many steaks we have. We cooked one beautiful one right up here behind us. If I left this mammoth steak here without cutting it up, it's probably about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches or so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's halfway mark. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we got around 17 steaks. If some of these, like this one, if it would have been a full section, I think we could have got one more. So I'm going to say about 17 to 18. You can kind of guess with the weight that I had, which was say 17.19 pounds. That's 17 pounds, 19 there, 0.19. So you can expect to get between 17 and 18 steaks. We were only 3 shy of getting us to that $9 mark, but we still hit the price lower than buying it at the store. Buying those individual steaks that you can just grab and go. If you decide that you want to cut it on your own time, then do it. I encourage you. I encourage you to cook, learn, grow those taste palettes, grow everything. All right, there we go. So I do want everyone to know I'm going to package these up. Now, I'm probably going to pack them probably 2 to a bag. Let's take a quick look at that. I'm just going to take a quick peek. Oh, you can hear the beautiful sizzle in there. All right, guys. So I'm down to my last glove here. So I am going to open this up. I'm going to put one steak on the right side. Sorry for the jarring around. Like I said, I'm looking into some other options here, but I'm putting one beautiful steak on this side, and then I'm going to try and nudge this one all the way over to this corner. The great thing about using a zipper bag, I'm not trying to get brand specific on anything, use the one that you like. The cool thing about this, if I know I want these 2 steaks to be ready to go, I can set them out, thaw them. You know what? Now you don't have to worry about getting your hands messy. You can toss in those 30-minute marinades if you wanted to. There's some of those that I'll probably take a look at and maybe give us all a review with. But here's the other cool thing. Make sure you kind of get them off to the side. I'm going to zip this down. I'm going to make sure my colors and everything are nice and done. And now we're going to save space. I'm going to let the air out. Just barely crack it. I'm going to push down on those 2 steaks. Okay? Boom. We let the air out. You can see how nice and tight it is in these packages just by pushing it out of the bag. Now it looks like 1, but there's 2. Saved you some space, saved you some money tonight by knowing that you can buy in bulk too. So don't let those big prices scare you away from buying that big 10-pound where I got a lot of hits on. Go check it out. I bought a 10-pound thing of burger and did it all that up. Matter of fact, I did that here, pressed the meat out nice and thin. When you toss it after it thaws out into your skillet, it's gonna cook up nicely. Or if you have your press, you can go ahead and get all of those burger patties. This will probably is 1 pound. Probably get 2 to 3 patties out of a 1 pound bag like this. If you need 2, you already know what the weight is on each bag. So it's just a grab and go. All right, guys. So with everything tonight, does anyone have any questions? I do see some beautiful faces have stayed here. So I just want to say thank you for everyone. I'm going to go through and give a quick shout out. Justin, Britt Family Fun. These are some people you want to go check out. If they made a comment, I'm going to holler out at them. Mexican Cry, not gonna lie, you're making me hungry. Thank you, sir. That's my job. If I'm not making you hungry, I'm not doing it. Britt came in here and lit up the post and everything. Thank you, Rebecca Adams. Justin again lit it up. Thank you. Emery, Gus, thank you for joining us. If you're still here, appreciate it. KJ Kelly, thank you. So, hey, Kelly, if you're still in here or come back to look at this video, definitely throw in a salad, okay? Yes, sir.
I want water.
You need some water? Okay. I tell you what, bud. Right out here. Let's grab you one.
That's not really mine.
Yeah.
You said right up there.
Well, that's fine. I didn't know that we had one right there. I opened the lid. You're good to go. All right, guys. So that was my 4-year-old. If you have little children that love to try and stay up past their bedtime, salute to you. Angel, hi. She made a comment. Bill Thomas, love it. Made a comment. My lizard girl, hi. Made a comment. Firefox Plays says I subbed. Thank you so much for the subscription or the subscribe through this. It helps me get one step closer. So I appreciate everyone that gave me their time tonight. If you're just now tuning in, I'm just kind of rolling through here. If you had any questions, if you're watching and pulling up to the end real quick, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will come back and I will look at them. I have other channels like TikTok. You can find me there at the same channel name, if you will, at JWAdamsII. It should show up JW_AdamsII. Has me kind of looking off to the side because there's a T-Rex behind me. But my hat's off to everyone. Thank you so much for tonight. Let's take one more look and see where our asparagus is at. Now for this one, I'm going to probably take this glove off. I'll re-glove to package these up just so I don't have to worry about contaminating any other foods. But tonight, guys, I think it was all a success. I took that first bite, no sauce needed. No sauce, unless you just want it. Beautifully done steak. Oh, look at that. There's the lighting we needed. Look at that, no blood. That's just the straight up juice on the plate and the seasoning running off. Look at that beautiful steak. Nicely done with a little sear on it. It is beautiful. I'm so glad that y'all got to see that. The reason why I'm so excited about that is that's probably the best pan-seared steak as far as temp and ratio goes, as far as being cooked to that little bit of a medium rare to back to the cooked portion, that beautiful pink portion that you see there. That's what a lot of people strive to go for, but sometimes we swing too far and we cook it too much because we're worried on how it's going to be. Just remember, if you cut into the meat and it's not the way you want it, it can definitely go back on the grill or in your skillet. So there's no wrong way to cook. The only wrong way is to not try. So if you're making it this far, again, thank you. Let me take a quick look here. Grabbing my glove, I'm gonna bring it up and let you kind of take a look. I think we may have timed everything just right to end the night. Bring it up at least so we can hear that beautiful sizzle. Okay. That lights out. Sorry guys, I'm trying to click this light. It's got a little juice on this one side because I want to try and get as much light for you to see as possible. I'm gonna grab this oven mitt. I got strong hands, but when doing stuff like this, I don't want to shake it around. I want you to see the little white specks. That's that salt that absorbed that olive oil, kind of crystallized and stuck to the salted side. You can see it. It's hot, but look at that. If you can kind of see the little sea salt that's stuck to it. Guys, that is delicious. I have not forgot this beautiful side down here. Now this one was the steak seasoning side. Let's give this one a little try. I'm just gonna grab this little one right here, hanging out on the bottom. Now this one didn't get super crispy because I had it too close and the olive oil sat on it. I will probably set these maybe back in the oven for just one more minute, but they're ready to eat. Seasoning, that steak seasoning, if you got steak seasoning you like, give it a shake, give it a try. I give this one a thumbs up. All right, back into the oven. Again, if you're looking at this, what temp did I pass up on the way here? 400 degrees. 400 degrees in that oven. Well, everybody, we saved some money. We cooked some steaks. We got to see the awesome cutting ability of those hex-clad knives. Okay, no promotion, nothing paid. Bought it myself as a holiday gift to myself for my kitchen. Came with the beautiful cutting board. I got the large one. They had one that was a little bigger, but that one got sold out. Only $99. I will say, save around those holidays and keep the money in your pocket so you can buy something else in the future. Saved with the steaks, saved on the knives. What else we save on? We saved on space. So much tonight. We learned that you can get that 10-pound hamburger and save on it as well. Mash it up, save on time. So again, we saved up on space because we have 2 steaks in here. We push the air out. It's gonna sit in the freezer nicely. Then we're gonna save time with those steaks in the future by being able to put seasoning in the bag, let them rest overnight and so on there to thaw, or our 30-minute marinades. We don't have to get our hands all dirty. But with that wave, good night everybody. Thank you so much. This is JW signing off for another Nightly Cook.